Morning, Linz. Well, you might notice it's not midnight, so I missed out step 2 or phase 2 last night, which is the knocking back and then dividing the loaves into 2 equal parts kilo each to put in here. And the reason I didn't do that was it was 12:30, and I thought I'd be banging about and talking in my big booming voice. Might have woken up Lily and Emma downstairs, so I didn't do that. But all you do is when you've left it to bulk ferment for 4 hours, you take it out and then you just knock it back. I just used one hand to get all the air out, and then I divide it into, obviously it's different depending on what size you're doing, size loaves, but just split it into 2, and then you just kind of, there's a shaping technique, so I will do that video for you at some point, but I just thought I'd skip it last night because it was so late. Anyway, I'm up now. I got up at 7 this morning, put the oven on, put it on to max, so whatever your temperature is, or highest temperature for your oven is, you stick it onto the max temperature. Mine's 250, so I'm at 250. Loads have been improving overnight, they've got a nice rise to them. I will endeavour, I don't know whether I can do it, I'm not going to move that because it's kind of teetering. I haven't set it up that well. But I'll kept boiling. Nice one. I'll have a quick cup of tea. Fancy a cup of tea? Have a cup of tea. Have a cup of tea. You can tell I just got up. Obviously, the bed hair's quite impressive. Still wearing what I was wearing last night. I thought that would be good for continuity. Apart from my dodgy barnet. I noticed, I watched the video back that I made last night, and I didn't realise, I know Evie's taken the piss out of me in the past for sucking, but I do that a lot. I must dribble when I talk. To work on that. Or just not talk much. That would probably help. Right. So, what we do, get the oven. I've got a Dutch oven in here, or a cast iron heavy base pan that's been heating at the same time. So it's been on almost 2 hours. I've had the oven on. It's probably a bit early, but I got up early to put the bins out and the veg boxes out because I was away. I don't know why. So yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to score it. So you create a nice ear on the bread. So you get it scoring, it helps the rye, helps it steam. So if you've got if you're in a bakery, you've got these beautiful ovens with water injectors that steam and help with the glaze on the bread, and obviously help that rise in that oven spring that's so important. Right, I'll just have my tea. I'll have a little sippage my tea. Nice one. Got a little pot there for me tea bags. Right, nice one. Cheers, Mosh. Right. You've got to move quite quickly, so I'm going to do this one first. I will show you, but it's doubled in size, and you can see it's got a bit of a spring, it's got the right tension, it's not retarded. That's not funny. It's not overproved. So if it overproves, you often find it comes up over the top. So we want it to just double in size and just loosen it off a bit so it doesn't stick when you drop it out. So when I flour the proofing baskets, I use a mix of the white bread flour with rice flour. So rice flour has a great texture, so that it doesn't. It's quite grainy, so it doesn't. It has the texture to stop it sticking to your basket, because you don't want it sticking. Because I've had it in the past where I haven't floured the baskets properly, and I've turned it out, it's just stuck, and then as I put it in the pan, it's just gone all over the side and it's ruined the bread. So the whole process has been an absolute write-off. But you've got to make mistakes. You've got to learn from your mistakes. That's pretty good. Right, I'm happy with that. You shouldn't move that too much. You want to not knock any air out of it. Anyway, so we'll get. Right, this is my lame, my razor blade. That I'm going to score. Just do a slash across the top. You've got to be nice and firm with it, and just don't mess about with it, because this stage you want to retain the heat that you've got in your pot. So get the heat of the pot out. Take the lid off. Shut the door. And then we're going to pop this in. Keep that there. Slash, good slash in there. Put the lid on straight away. Into the oven. Shut the door. Right. I'm going to set a timer for 30 minutes. And in 30 minutes, sorry, I've noticed I was touching my face as well and eating stuff and putting things in my mouth. Really good time. Anyway, my hands are clean. Washed them thoroughly before doing this. Yeah, so set a time. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, you take the lid off, but leave the lid in the oven. So I've got a tray in the bottom of the oven that I put the lid back in, so you keep and retain the heat in that.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
All right, Alexa. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes. So anyway, so you take the lid off and then you put it back. I don't know what you said. Oh, well, I hope that's half an hour, but if it isn't, it's 9 o'clock. So half an hour and we're good to go. So in half an hour, I'll show you what it looks like after half an hour. I'm sorry I couldn't really show you what the slash that I've done on it, but it's fairly simple. It takes a little while to get your technique down with your slashing. Your slashing, you just need to be really confident with it. And you'll get better. And I mean, depending, because I'm going to give you a round banneton. What I tend to do with the round one, I slash it in a square on the top, or I mean, you could do a cross. I mean, over time, you'll just get more confident and you'll start doing your own designs. I mean, that was the reason, because a lot of old-fashioned bakeries, you turn up with the bread that you'd made, and you take it to be cooked in the big ovens, but you'd mark it and score it in a certain way so the baker would know that it's certain households. Anyway, I'm going to pause you where you are, and we'll come back in half an hour, and I'll show you what the bread looks like, and then we're going to get the colour of the bread that we want, because we want a nice crust, because obviously that's where a lot of the flavour is. Right, I'll be back in a tick later. Right, Linz, that's almost half an hour up. Another cup of tea. That's half an hour. Alexa, stop. So, you pan from the porridge. Right. So, take the drawer out the bottom. You can't see that. So. That looks very good, even if I do say so myself. So, Linz, I keep a brush over here just to like brush off any of the excess flour that's on the top that's stuck to it. So for from the rice and the bread flour, right? Do you want to have a look? Of course you want to have a look. So it's got a nice light golden colour at this point, but it's still very, very doughy. So there you go. Look at that beaut. Right, we'll put this back in. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes just to see, and then we'll come back to it. So lid off, back in for 5 minutes. So as a rule of thumb, if I'm cooking a kilo loaf, I'm going to cook it for half an hour initially, and then I'm going to take the top off, and then I'm going to let it develop its lovely colour. No, I say beautiful and lovely a lot better. It's going to develop its colour and go to a nice golden, darker colour that creates that nice crust on your bread. So I'm going to give it another 5 minutes. Better tell Alexa. Alexa, set a timer for 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes, check it again, see the colour. We'll take it out, and this is the point that you do the hollow test. So a lot of home bakers, they'll look at doing the hollow test, and they're like, "Is that right?" and you don't know. It's much like when you're bringing the bread together and you're kneading it, and when it comes together, it's like, you get that kind of epiphany moment. It's like, oh, that's it. But when you test for the hollow sound, it's like, oh, that's it. You're not like tapping it. Is that hollow? Yeah, it sounds, it could be. It's like a dung dung. Yeah, that's it. It's perfect. Because what you want from your bread is to have that crumpety texture. So it's light and it's got lots of lovely bubbles in it. Lovely. And it tastes delicious. So we'll get that out in 5 minutes. We'll check it. I might give it a turn in the oven, but I leave it in the pot to cook all the time. Some bakers will take it out of the pot and leave it in the oven, but because I'm making another loaf, got one obviously proofing here, we'll leave it as it is in the Dutch oven. All right, well, I'll come back 5 minutes time. We'll get it out. I need to get a wire rack out, so when you're cooling your bread, stick it on a wire rack. And another tip is you'll want to slice into it straight away. You'll want to have a taste, but don't let it cool, and then get your butter out and lather it up. Right, so I'll get the cooling rack out. One cooling rack. Where should we put it? We'll put it up there, so we can have a good look at the bread. Okay, see you in a bit. Alexa, stop. Right, so I checked it a little while ago, and after 5 minutes I checked it and it wasn't quite ready, so I've given it another 5. So in total it's had 40 minutes. So 2 spells of 10 minutes without the lid on. Have a little check. Probably wasn't a good idea to take. I'm cleaning the oven, so it probably wasn't a good idea to take the tops off the oven. Anyway. It's a bit warm. There you go. That's the sound bit. That's the sound lens. Right. That's my bread. So I like it quite dark. We'll have another look at that in a minute. So I'm going to do the next loaf. Get the lid out. Bam. There we go. Read. Right, we'll loosen this off again. So you see the rise. You've got even little bubbles. You might not be able to see these on there. The little bubbles that have formed where the yeast has been really active. Anyway, bosh. We're going to stick this in and give it a slash. It's easy. I'm a bit preoccupied. Oh, nice. Nice firm slash. I mean, I really could do showing you that slash, couldn't I? But I will do, and you'll get your own technique to work it out. It's not as tricky. I mean, some people use Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes. Actually, Alexa, cancel that alarm, because it took a bit longer, this one. I'm going to do it for a bit longer. Alexa, set an alarm for 35 minutes, and we'll check it at 35. Actually, I don't know what.
35 minutes, starting now.
Right. Well, that's it. That's the crap. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I knew I was saying something. It's not very important. But you can proof, if you haven't got time to leave your bread proofing overnight, you can stick it in the fridge and you can leave it as long as you like and then take it out and let it rise. Some people take it straight out of the fridge and then they put it straight in the oven. I mean, I have done occasionally. I don't think it gets the best results. I think this method is probably the best. So, but it's late, so obviously I started mine at 7:30 last night, 8 o'clock, was the first bulk ferment. So you just work it out, so it's over the course of the day. But I do also remember saying that last night, I think it was the last part, we'll leave that for 12 hours. Well, we didn't, we left it for 8, didn't we? In actual fact, we left it for 9 in total in the end. But around there, you'll get a gauge. I mean, I'll leave it for 8 as a minimum. And then anything after that, you must just make sure and check that it's proofed correctly and not overproofed, because if it overproofs, it'll just be really pillowy and it won't really rise properly in the oven, and it doesn't have the structure. Okay, well that's in for 35 minutes. I think we're done. As I said before, if you've got any questions with regard to weights, measurements, timings, feeding, anything like that, or anything you need, just give us a shout, let me know, and I will obviously help you as best I can. Alright, nice one. Take it easy. I'll probably come back and do another vid, another little snippet of just what the bread looks like. But that's this. So it's quite dark. I like it quite dark, but you'll because every oven's different. You'll work out the timings. But as a rule, for a kilo, I do anything from 40 to 45 minutes. Sometimes 50. It is quite loose, but you've just got to have a feel for the consistency of your bread and the kind of how dense it feels, because it should be really light, and if it's done perfectly and you've got everything right, your bread will last quite a long time. So in the past, when I've made bread, it hasn't lasted that long. I mean, it tasted initially all right, tasted pretty good all right initially, but it tasted pretty good, but it didn't last. The loaf would go really stale quickly. But I realised that a good sourdough will actually last quite a long time. I mean, I keep it in paper bags that I get from one of the lads on the market store on a Tuesday. But it should last. I mean, the first slice, if you've already cut into the loaf, will be a bit dry, but it's good for toast. But anything after that, it has that nice crumpety texture. And it should just last. Should be quite moist. It retains its moisture quite well. Right, I'm going to carry on. I'll stop waffling, and I'll come back when this is done, and we can just have a look at the loaves when they're finished. All right, it's a little. Hello, Alexa, shush your mouth. Nice. Yeah, so we're done. That was it. Bread's been in total. So I did it for 40 minutes in the end. Because it's a bigger dough. So normally I do 6, 6, 6. So I divide it into 3 and I do 3 rounds. Today I just do 2. You have one if you want one, and I'll have the other one. But then you might want to even try it today and make your own bread today. So I'll leave that entirely up to you. We'll have a chat when you come round. Right, well, with no further ado, I'll get the bread out. So no further ado. Beautiful. Right. Look at that little beaut. So, 2 loaves. That you got a nice ear on both. This one's slightly lighter than this one, but you, as I said, you just play around with the timings, and you'll get to know your oven really well. Normally we all just cook on 180. 180 is kind of default setting for everything, isn't it? So that's it. 2 loaves, done and dusted. I might do another video that's better than this one, or this set. So I'm a bit more kind of prepared and a bit more organised, and they look a bit better, and I get a better angle set up for the camera on this. But I've enjoyed doing that. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's not been too fucking boring. Nice one, Liz. Right, I'll see you in a bit. Later.